what else am I going to be able to do in this world? Am I going to just do what Felix does and play card games and sleep with hookers?
I hope there's that option.
Can I do that, right?
I feel like you're.
Thank you for
absolutely.
speculating and nailing the fact that I'm going to be nailing some hookers.
Yeah, of course you are.
It's going to be amazing.
Of course you are. Welcome to episode 179 of the Emergent Gamer podcast, and we are proud to announce that we are brought to you by the OG Podcast Network.
Hey. OG Podcast Network.
Do they have a theme song?
No,
we just
I-
made
We
it
just
right now.
they do now.
OG
channeling the-
Podcast Network.
Oh, God.
Channeling Aziz Ansari from Parks and Rec or
Parks and
something.
Recs? Yeah. So what does that mean? Really quickly before we get into a breakdown of what's in store for tonight's episode, we are now brought to you by OG Podcast Network, which you can check them out. They have an app. They also have a website that you can go to.
OGPodcastNetwork.com.
Correct. OGPodcastNetwork.com. And if you search for OG Podcast in the App Store, definitely in iOS, in Apple App Store, I'm assuming it's in Google Play as well. There's actually an OG Podcast app, which you can also listen to our podcast.
Let us know if that's true because we all have iPhones.
Yeah. I was like,
We do all have iPhones.
There
so
is
we're
no
not
way
sure
of
about
finding
Google
out.
Play.
Yeah, there's no way for us to know.
But we're excited for the partnership with OG. We're extremely thankful for the opportunity to be working with them. So this is the first time that we're announcing it to all of our listeners. You may have seen some posts on Twitter and things like that. But moving forward, we will be brought to you by OG Podcast Network.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
We could, are they considered a sponsor? Could we say they're our first official kind of sponsor?
I would say they're a publisher. If
They're a
anything.
Yeah.
publisher, if
Yeah.
anything, yeah.
Exactly.
That's great.
Which may mean in the future that you may hear advertisements. We may need to do some ad spaces for future clients as an FYI. So if you hear that switch up, it might sound like some other podcasts that you listen to that already have clients and sponsorships that they work through. So that may happen in the near future. But we are super excited for the
And
opportunity.
overall, you don't need to change your listening habits.
No, that's a
Yeah.
very good point, Neil.
Yeah,
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, all your feeds will still work,
Yes.
whether
So
it be
you
Apple
don't have to do
or
anything
whatever.
active.
Yeah, so the feed that you're currently subscribed to, or if you visit our website to listen, or anywhere that you go right now, you do not need to change. This is just giving you the opportunity to download a different app because they offer a wide variety of other podcasts if you're interested in. Fireside Chats with Menti is also a part of OG Podcast Network. They have news, they have sports, they have a bunch of different podcasts that you could listen to. And inside of the app and on the website, it's broken down by category. So if you wanted to kind of explore a little bit around what this network has to offer, you could do it all from the convenience of one application or from their website.
Yep.
But the benefit is that our feed, our website, nothing changes, which is awesome, meaning when this episode posts, you will see it hit your feed without any hiccups.
I'm going to dig in there and see if they have any history podcasts. I listen to a lot of history podcasts.
They very well may. I haven't looked myself.
I haven't had a chance to check all the categories out, but I'm definitely going to go in there because outside of here, like Neo listens to a lot of gaming podcasts, but I'm going to be frank with you. When I'm outside of here, I tend to stray in other directions. I mean,
I honestly, I'm with you. I actually can't really listen to a lot of gaming podcasts. I feel like because I'm already doing so much research on my own and then talking about it frequently that I just don't want to hear it again. I guess I would only listen to it if I really loved a personality, like people would hopefully love us sitting at this desk. But
so as an example, like I do listen to some great ones. The Forbes guys do a great.
You've talked
the
about that
Overworld
before.
podcast is amazing. Check that out. For gaming. But I primarily sit in the vein of like history podcasts. I love listening to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, and then I've also listened to a lot of news podcasts and things like that. So like NPR One.
I think I'm sitting in the same
NPR
boat.
NPR Now or One? The one that rotates through.
I think it's NPR Now.
NPR Now, yeah. I like that one a lot because it just rotates randomly through stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in a similar situation. We do this show, so this is the gaming news for me. We have concerns, which is great if you guys like little bite-sized conversations about really obscure knowledge. NASA has Houston. We have a podcast, which is great. I'm big on that. I'm big on the space.
Oh, the space podcast.
Do you listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast?
I don't actually know.
Dude, that's probably dope
probably
as
should.
shit.
So he interviews kind of like he has that book that came out, Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. So he always brings someone on that doesn't necessarily have like a space background to like kind of educate and have a more realistic conversation about space.
Get Felix Hergood on there.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about
But
space.
yeah, I'm listening to Joe Rogan's episode with him right now.
God, I
and
love Joe Rogan.
It's 3 hours of them just talking.
I think I might have listened to that one. I don't know.
It's recent. It's like last week.
Oh, it was last week. Yeah, no, there was a period of time where I was hardcore into Rogan.
Yeah.
And I'm still hardcore into him, but now I'm getting him in smaller bite sizes on YouTube. But there was a long time where I would do whole episodes of his show, but then I got away from it. Yeah. But he's great, man. He's so good.
Oh, I mean,
I aspire
for
to
a
be
long
like
time.
Joe Rogan.
Oh, he's been doing it for a long ass time. He's the only man that I know
he's one of the earliest.
someone for 3.5 hours.
Right,
and everyone listens. I mean, I listen to it
you're
all
just,
the time.
You're stuck. You can't possibly end the conversation. It's like, man, this is so good. I can't stop.
Right?
I can't.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a neat opportunity to be able to work with a partner like this, and then to be able to explore other podcasts that we might not know about because of their partnership is really cool. Anyone from the New York area that's listening, that's where they're based out of. So they've actually taken radio personalities from New York-based stations that are now doing their own podcasts. So if there are any radio hosts that you're a fan of, they may be spun off and doing their own podcast with OG. I mean, you'd have to be from the tri-state area to probably know who those personalities are, but there's plenty of content there, so I would check it out.
And if you were drawn in because you live in the New York area and you're wondering where the hell we are, we're in Philadelphia.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Thank you, Felix.
Thanks, Felix.
I don't know. I don't think that's ever been said before. Anyway, I guess we should just jump into the news. We don't need to do our intros. You know who's here. We got Felix, we got Trip, we got Neo, and myself.
What's up?
Lock and Key. So let's
There's
hit into the news.
There's
we got
a lot.
Do we want to
that
get
happened.
the bad stuff out of the way? The bad thing out of the way.
Let's hit it.
Pull the Band-Aid off.
So at this point, I mean, unless you're not necessarily following, this is major news at this point, like news. It's not just something gaming related that you would find on IGN or Twitter or something. But there was obviously at this point, there was a shooting in Jacksonville, Florida, at a Madden tournament. 2 confirmed.
3, I think they're at now.
Confirmed, and then a lot of others injured.
Which puts it into the category already of one of the most serious ones this year.
Yeah, so it's considered, I think, a mass shooting because of what it is. So we wanted to take a moment to talk about it, only because we felt compelled to do so because of the circumstances. But to hit what happened was from what we know now, a disgruntled professional Madden player.
He lost.
He did lose at this particular tournament.
Went to his car and got his handgun out of his car and came back in.
Correct.
Yeah. And then they were live streaming the tournament.
They were live streaming it. One of the I don't know his name. We should probably bring that up.
I don't think. The shooter's name? No,
not the shooter's name. It doesn't matter. One of the other gaming professionals was actually on stream. One of the ones that did pass away was actually one of the ones from the live stream. And I mention this because I will tweet it out. But one of the other professional Madden players that passed away actually lives down the road from Glock in West Virginia.
Oh, really?
So he shared a GoFundMe page because the family has created a GoFundMe page.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But it was actually someone that this podcast, I don't know if everyone, I don't think Neo or Trip are familiar with Glock, but I know. Felix has played with him before. He's in our Discord. He's in a bunch of other Discords, but his wife actually knew this Madden player. I don't know his name, so forgive me. I think his first name was Taylor. So there's a GoFundMe. If anyone wants to donate to that, I will tweet it out. They're just trying to raise money for expenses and things like that. So super tragic. We don't really, that's the obvious. The sad thing as well as what the media is trying to do about it. You know,
they're turning it into a video game violence thing.
Yeah.
Well, fucking
that's the problem with
bullshit.
these kind of cases. Now it's going to be politicized, and
Yep.
it's going to be pulled in different directions to see what, like, people are just trying to let the dust settle and see if they can come up with an explanation. But
I
think
mean, it goes. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
I think the reality is this guy was just a mentally unstable person, and in my personal opinion, I feel like we as a society need to address mental instability in people, and people need to be able to get help when it's apparent that they need
I don't
it.
disagree with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the level that he's at, I mean, I draw parallels to media all the time. I think of scenes in movies and things like that. And the only thing I can think of that this comes close to, if you've ever seen a movie called The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis. Have you ever seen that?
It's been a long time.
I have not.
The Last Boy Scout. Is
There's
that with the
professional football league,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
with what's his name in
with
it,
Damon
too.
Wayans.
Yeah. It's old.
There's a scene in the beginning of the movie where, under the pressure of narcotics and the pressure of wanting to win, a football player, and they're all fictional NFL teams, like they couldn't use the real names if they wanted to do this scene,
Right.
but goes out on the field with a gun and starts shooting players. This is something that predates the internet. This movie came out in 91, right? And this scene was in this movie. You couldn't make this scene. Unless you were trying to like call attention to an epidemic in this country, you couldn't make this scene today. But like to have it so gratuitous in the beginning of an action movie, you probably couldn't do that type of scene today. But like it was in this movie. But I think it illustrates like the pressure level that gaming is getting to on a national, competitive level. Right, because when you were in it, you were a professional gamer. Locke was a professional gamer. When you were in it, there were probably kids around you who were trying to get above other kids,
Of course.
who were taking drugs in order to enhance their abilities and things like that.
Yeah.
And that kind of shit can fuck with your head, dude.
I mean, we're speculating, but like if you're talking more broadly,
I'm not talking
outside
about
of the
this incident or anything like that. I'm saying like I can imagine.
Yeah,
like, the
I mean,
pressure.
like Adderall is something that is like all over the competitive gaming scene, right?
Yeah,
like,
there was a problem last year, I think, with CS:GO, or was it Dota or CS? It was one of those.
I mean, it's probably one of them. I mean, they're the majors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a huge problem, and like it's a psycho, drug, right? It's only affecting your mind.
Yeah.
You take mass quantities of it. Who knows what can happen? I mean, like the thing about this, which like is it just automatically becomes lumped into something broader. Like there's no more random acts of violence. They're all mass shooting, gun problem, all of this. And I don't want to like put it in a bucket or not put it in a bucket, but like we have to think of all of the competitive gaming scenes that have happened, and this being the first time that this has ever happened. It's not a gaming problem. I wouldn't even say that this falls into a gun problem. Like clearly there were things happening with this individual that weren't right. And it's extremely unfortunate that the gaming community's been impacted by this. It's extremely unfortunate, obviously, for the individuals that lost their lives and that were injured. I just hope that as a community, knowing how much good we can do as a unit and as a cohesive community, that we can figure out a way past this in a positive note. We're gonna say, Trip.
This kind of incident happening to gaming is definitely unfortunate. Not as unfortunate, of course, as people that have lost their lives because of this. But gaming has always had an uphill battle in terms of fighting its legitimacy and showing the good that it can do. And it's not the fact that it's a Madden tournament that was the catalyst of this. It was the fact that it was gaming. So that's going to be, again, politicized and spun. But the problem that this illustrates is that you can't box these things into one event or one cause like everyone's going to try to do. It's showing just a pattern of action for people that need support in some way. And it's even, I even hesitate to label someone who does this as mentally challenged. They could have been mentally stressed. They could have been affected in some way.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. I mean, similar to what
I
you
was
brought
not
up.
pointing to the age-old argument that, he must have been like hopped up on crazy drugs and must have been mentally unstable.
We don't know either. He could
we
have
don't
been,
know.
right? It just there's no way to know this, but I think it shows that we don't support people the way they need to be. We don't support a proper, emotional literacy, I guess would be the right way to put it. Like, we know gaming is traditionally a male hobby, and males traditionally not like taught to express themselves. Like that's 1% of a facet of reasons that could cause this stuff, and it's not going to stop at gaming unless we take a step back and try to embrace a kinder view and a kinder way to handle a lot in our lives. It's just going to take this kind of thing hitting everyone's areas of passions, which is it's so sad that it's going to get to that point, but no one wants to actually do anything or change anything because of certain interests or certain people that want to make decisions. And again, I'm trying to stay very far away from like super politicizing this, but I think the what this reinforces is that we just have to be kinder to each other just at the end of the day.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
I concur.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and if you think about like how the gaming community has evolved over time, like the trolling aspect of competitiveness has changed dramatically, right? Like trolling is not something that's done actively by every single person. Like I think about like how vicious people were back in the day at like tournaments, and like that would scream at you and yell at you and obscenities at you, and it was all just normal. It was just like what gamers did, right? And like I think everyone would say that they've had a point where they've acted that way at some point, probably, right?
Last week.
Sure. Some of us a bit more in the past than last week, but I think like it all comes, and not to say that you're immature, but I think some of us over time mature in our personal lives, and that comes through in what we do in gaming, right? Like gaming is an escape for a lot of people, but I think it's going to be a learning opportunity for us as a gaming community as a whole, not just a Madden community, not just a sports gaming community, but us as a whole, because this is going to affect everyone. Well, like the shockwave that this sends through the community will ultimately end up affecting every single person in it in one way or the other.
Well, it's definitely going to up security levels at gaming events.
I mean, there aren't.
When I originally heard of this, because it was broadcasting on Twitch, I thought this was akin to a swatting incident, meaning it was location based. Somebody figured out the location when they were like sitting elsewhere in Florida, and then came to it. And it was like an outsider who wasn't at the event. And then I learned that it was somebody who had snapped at the tournament. Yeah. But originally I was thinking, well, obviously they got to up their security levels because it must have been an outsider.
Well, they're already talking about that too. One of the things that came out afterwards was that the county that was in, they had already talked about upping security in various areas, especially this area for this event, and the city never responded. Or they never followed through. They canceled it.
I mean, I wouldn't really put it on the city because there's no security at any gaming event.
And in fact, all these other that was a preliminary tournament for Madden, and all other tournaments now have been canceled. They're all like across the country.
I know EA said that they were working with they tweeted out that they were working with the police and trying to figure out. So I would imagine that they would probably pause this season entirely, which makes sense. But if you think about it, like you don't go into a concert without going through metal detectors. We just haven't as a community been affected by something like this, and this is it for us, and this is going to change how cons work. How like the next major event is going to be changed because of it.
You're gonna have to look at any gathering of people and say, how can we make everyone here as safe as possible?
Yeah.
When I was at TwitchCon, when we were at E3, they were very security filled, but that's like the upper tier of anything you're going to be going to as a gamer or as a fan. And of course, they're expecting really big names, celebrities in the spaces to be there, so they're going to take the proper precautions. But you have a tournament, and so many people are organizing tournaments these days. It may not be in the budget to afford to rent a metal detector. I don't know what those things cost, but it's something, and it's something logistically that needs to get factored in.
Or more, what it would cost to hire more bodies to check people at the door.
So our thoughts go out to the families that were affected by this.
100%.
And it's extremely sad, and it could have been any single person. It could have been any single game. It could have been anywhere.
And that's really the thing, man. It could be anywhere. Yeah. For anything. I walked into a mall today running an errand or two, and I was just like, someone may have just gotten an idea from all this stuff that's happening and just might have something in here, Yeah. The reality now is that it could It could literally happen at any point.
Yeah, and we don't think about it a lot, and we may, leave this recording, and it may not be on our minds or whatever because it's just what happens. But it's a wake up call for a lot of us, and our thoughts go out. And I will tweet out the GoFundMe just in case anyone wants to donate even a small amount. Any listeners, anyone. So you could check my Twitter at some point. I will tweet it out. But
a lot of people think that this is like a new thing. My memory goes way before the internet on this kind of shit. Like when I was a young kid, one of my earliest memories is about a mall shooting that happened down the road at the Springfield Mall.
It's not a problem that this country has had.
Right in the neighborhood. It's not a recent thing.
No, it's not. The problem is that we're all connected now.
Yeah,
the,
we're now
the internet
connected,
has evolved
and
that.
everyone can.
Someone in Chicago didn't know the Springfield Mall got shot up. They would now.
Yeah, they would now.
And that's the thing. That's it.
My hope is that going forward, maybe this is the time that we, do something different.
You always hope.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time I hope that. But
yeah,
the best thing you can do, no matter what side you're on, no matter what your opinions are, is to make your voice known, and stand up for what's important to you. Not like trolly stupid shit, but like if you really believe something, work towards it. Work towards that change because that's the only way anything really happens with enough positive voices.
And as a PSA to anyone that listens to us that feels like they need someone to talk to, you hit us up in any form or fashion. I know I'm not trying to be the cheesy guy, but like if anyone ever felt that way in any capacity and felt like they had no one to talk to, I'm up at 4 a.m. feeding a baby that doesn't know how to speak, and my fingers work. So
I think it's a really important thing to call out, man. Like people, we do this because we want to talk about our hobby and entertain and connect with people. Yeah. So we're here. We're literally here putting ourselves in front of you. And, if you're comfortable and if you need support.
Twitch, Twitter, you want to join our Discord
as well.
Whatever it may be. So let's move past this just because I don't want to spiral too much off of the topic.
Sure.
And what do we want to hit next? Do we want to hit Cyberpunk? Do we want to hit
Destiny or that?
Destiny. We can hit Destiny.
I think we do Destiny next because
get that Destiny
Cyberpunk. You watch your mouth because Cyberpunk is going to take us into some crazy places, and I can't wait to really talk about it and unpack it because we know what's happening with Destiny. We know what we're going to be expecting, so let's just kind of go through it, update people, recap it, get them prepped.
Yeah.
Get the info out there.
Sure. Do one of you guys want to?
I'll give a rundown. We can go back and forth. Yeah.
With what? Yeah. Cyberpunk?
Yeah. No, with Destiny.
Destiny. All right. Go.
We'll
you take lead there. You take lead there.
As of today, Tuesday, August 28th, Destiny 2.0 is out. This is the update where sandbox changes happen. The update where the new weapons are going to go into the new spots. You're going to notice a new director inside of the game, a new milestones tab. Some broadcasters have already reported they're getting Forsaken loot dropping with full lore and specific random rolls like hidden hand on a helmet that I think Char or T-Rex posted. It's nuts. It's nuts. Things are happening whether or not they're supposed to be. They dropped with like temporary shaders, so it looks like a development little note in there. I don't know. We don't know, and at least Josh Hamrick is not saying anything from people tweeting at him. So for now, just go in and enjoy the game. This is a change for everybody that owns Destiny 2. It's not Forsaken only because a lot of the quality of life adjustments are going to be available to all players.
One thing I noticed when logging in before, there are no more milestones.
Yes.
They're all gone. It's just clan XP is up there. That's the only thing that's up there.
A lot has been changed to your pursuits tab in your menu.
Or to the planet itself.
Or to the planet itself.
Yeah,
exactly.
the map layout is all different now.
Yep. You may notice some of your guns have disappeared. They might be in a postmaster on one of your 3 characters. Your collections and vendors are not available until Forsaken launches, as they change some under the hood things.
They're all taking a break.
Yeah,
they all earned a week's vacation.
They had a lot of shit thrown at them in this Solstice event, for sure. And I still didn't get an anti-up from that piece of shit gunsmith, dude.
I saw you working that last night.
I got like 20 Orthuses, but not one anti-up.
You know what I never got? A Manananon. You know the scout rifle.
The linear.
No. The energy scout rifle. M-A-N-A. If you could fucking Googled it. Apparently, it's a really popular energy scout rifle that everyone was trying to get 3 of.
I don't know. To have one for each burn.
Yeah, it was a good energy scout rifle that a lot of people used.
Interesting. I wonder if that's what I used because I had to flip out a void scout to find.
I think it's
this
Mananon.
Mananon.
Mananon. Banana.
Banana.
I think I used
Banana.
that last night as I was hunting down those latent memories on Mars to finish out my solstice bounties.
This gun.
Yeah, the banana.
Banana.
Hold on, I want to confirm this for sure. If
So
if this was the one.
Super exciting with Forsaken coming out next week.
No, it was Eternal Blazing.
I really hope I can keep up with you guys. That's all I'm worried about.
Listen, this is what happens always.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. I'm going to let you know right now. For anyone listening, plug. Trip and I will both be playing
At launch.
at launch time.
1 p.m. that Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern.
So you are doing a 24-hour stream.
I'll be doing a 24-hour stream.
I
1
got
p.m.
at least
that day till the
I
next
got
day.
at least 12 hours in me.
That's-
At that point, after 12,
Who knows?
it could be 18.
I-
It could be 12 hours and 5 minutes.
You're going to reassess how you feel at that point.
I'm going to reassess.
but
how
that
I
same
feel.
week, self-plug here,
So-
I'm also doing 12 hours of Spider-Man.
I love it.
Spider-Man.
I
I'll
can't
be
wait.
there-
I
I'll be
can't
there
wait to
for
watch
that.
that.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm
for
really
that.
excited for that because,
On
like I
that
said,
Friday,
I wasn't
that's Friday.
excited, but I saw some screenshots and gifs today that just like looked real good.
Dude,
Yeah,
you can
I'm
ride
excited.
the subway in that as Spider-Man.
I
like,
can't
holy
wait
shit.
to ride a
Just chill
subway as
as
I've never done
Spider-Man.
it before.
I could walk to Gerard and do that, but I guess
I'm excited for it because I probably won't end up buying it. So
Right.
I'm excited that I can watch you do it, and
Yeah.
maybe it'll inspire me to end up buying it, which is cool.
So I just requested off for a Red Dead 2 stream.
Nice, cool.
So
Something
we got
else I
We'll
won't
see.
be buying.
We'll see if
We
work
got
gives
mad
it
So
to
that's
me.
I'm
awesome.
gonna wait for PC for that.
I am definitely waiting for PC because it's gonna be
It's gonna be
amazeballs.
incredible, dude.
So,
So yeah, we got.
but what I was gonna say was, what's gonna happen is the same thing for the Solstice gear, right? Like I had the Solstice set first because you just the one to have the time to grind, and then everyone catches up. It doesn't matter if I have it
Yeah.
a week before you. You
No.
know, so like
I-
sure,
but-
Trip and I maybe by week 1 are like significantly ahead of you in light
No,
level, but
but,
it
like,
will all even.
I
out.
want to
Really
be able
not.
to like experience the raid fresh with you guys.
Sure.
Because if I'm going in there blind and you've already done it already, then there's going to be like, okay, well, we already know what we're doing.
A
Let's
blind
do it.
blind raid, a true blind raid is going to take a while to figure out.
I
It's-
know.
it's
like
one of the
hours,
most-
hours upon hours.
One of the most incredible experiences I've ever had in Destiny was
Yeah.
blind raiding. I'd love to have you there with us for sure.
I will try and make it.
The
I will
other thing to
dedicate
think about-
that period of time to Spider-Man, and then I will be on Destiny.
To think about, this is the other thing to think about is that you don't have to be raid ready in order to experience the raid. There's the recommended light level, and you may be at a handicap. But even if you're not at the same light level as us, doesn't mean that we couldn't do the first encounter.
Yeah. Get
or
some gear,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Because realistically, unless we like are vibing, we're not figuring out the whole raid right away. So maybe we figure out the first encounter and you get to experience that, and then we don't get to do the rest of it for another few days. So like I wouldn't be too concerned about not being able to do it. I think you're going to be able to raid with us for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Because it is going to take a little bit of time
Yeah,
to figure it
hours.
out usually.
I still love watching the King's Fall Worlds first. It's like
Oh,
such
King's Fall World
such
first.
a great
because
like puzzle solving experience, and then like the race near the end when they were like getting so
dude,
close.
I remember. So I started watching it from Golgoroth. Is that was his name?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the big ogre.
The big
boss.
ogre
Yeah.
on, and them trying to figure out how to do Golgoroth
Yeah.
took
That was
hours.
the longest chunk.
I'm pretty sure it was. It was
Probably
well.
4
It was
hours.
probably. It was. I knew it was over 3 hours.
They got to him super quick. They figured out the jump
and it
puzzle.
took
They
them
opened the door.
Ever to
Yeah.
beat him, dude, and he's a complicated boss.
It really
So
is.
that makes sense why, and they're under leveled and they're trying to figure it all out. But 4 hours for one encounter.
What a fun
Sheer
fight.
willpower.
What a
No, it is a
fun-
real
What a fun.
and then they
fight.
got to Oryx, and it was fucking
Dude.
mayhem,
Dude.
to try and fight Oryx.
Bungie described it as spinning plates on sticks, like that fucking old.
exactly
school.
what it was
That's
like.
100% what it was like.
Yeah.
All the different things you had to
Be
worry
on this
about.
platform, worry about this ogre, jump to this platform, worry
But-
about that
but
ogre,
that
fucking
raid-
jump on this platform, shoot him, rinse
Right.
and repeat.
It was so good because
Ah.
it taught you with the sisters. It taught you like the basic mechanic.
It did teach you
and
with
then
the sister. Oh,
you
God,
had
I love
to
the sister
you had to
fight.
build. Dude, that whole raid is my favorite.
God,
To this day,
Jesus,
it's my
my pants
favorite.
are tight.
I know. You know what I wanted to do that this plan fell apart at the end of the summer, but I wanted to go back and do a full story stream,
Ooh.
like play all the story missions from D1, do the raids in line with the story, then roll into Destiny 2 with a new character. That got blown up by Solstice.
Right.
But it's something that I want to do in the future. So like maybe for year 3 or Destiny 3,
Like the launch of year 3
Like,
of whatever, something. Yeah,
play
yeah.
through everything.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because I just want to raid with people in D1. I want to like play Vault of Glass and
I
shit.
would love.
I
to
still
do
I
it.
still need
Going
to
back
The
and doing
problem
it
is that
Mythoclast.
like none of us are on the. I'm on Xbox.
I know.
You're on PlayStation.
Buy it for $5
PlayStation,
probably
yeah.
somewhere. And
But
just-
then you have to grind a D1 character to be raid ready.
I'm a
I
sick
already
man.
have a
I'm a sick
D1.
man.
Oh, you want to start over
I'm
again?
a sick man.
I'll do an account
what do you
recovery
say?
for you.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, I guess at this point, the sandbox has changed in Destiny.
Sandbox. That's the last thing that was in my brain. Thank you. Sandboxes are fully changed. New time to kills are updated. Everything is live.
So weapons are killing significantly quicker. So hand cannons are now back to 3-tap hand cannons for certain archetypes.
A lot of armor got adjusted too. I know off the top of my head because I'm a hunter. I was reading through some of the hunter changes. Orpheus,
the worm husk got changed.
Wormhouse definitely
God,
got changed.
I'm so fucking upset
Yeah.
about it.
Orpheus rig changed a little bit as well. It doesn't
It's
grant
super nerfed.
super energy on like the bloom effects of like some of your grenades and other things. So your meter to refill the super may not shoot up as quickly as it did before, but they also give you more energy for more ads that are tethered on a more consistent basis. So I think what they want
So
you to know
as
is like
people are walking into it, you're
going
getting
to be
more
able to
rewards.
see like every single time consistently. Yeah, I read through some of this consistently. I know. Oh, there's like 5 enemies. It's going to be 2/3 full. Or there's going to be 6 enemies. It's going to be like a quarter full. Like you're going to know
Right.
essentially whatever those numbers mean. You're going to be able to plan for it a little bit better. I think.
The most important thing, and this is for anyone that's listening that's a Destiny fan, because it's very hard to cover everything for this game. And this is, I don't think, something that the Destiny community as a whole knows about, is this week at Bungie. Because they don't do a good job of sharing this unless you follow their social media or know about it. A lot of people are saying that this week at Bungie should be integrated into in-game. So you can see, you would go to like Tess and she would
I
have
would
the
love
patch
to do
notes
that, yeah.
or something. So if you're ever curious about what the fuck we are talking about, this week at Bungie is a blog post that they make each week that shares all of this shit. So if you wanted to hear about specific exotics, if you wanted to hear the nitty-gritty about the weapon breakdown and things like that, you can always catch it at This Week at Bungie, which is on Bungie.net's website. But the new time to kill has got everyone excited. All of the PvP streamers are like back. I was saying to Neo earlier, I don't know if you know who Crafty is. Crafty used to play Destiny. He switched and started playing Fortnite. He came back. He's on, as of an hour ago, Jeezum Crow was telling me he was on like an 1100 sub train for coming back to Destiny.
Because him and Goth were planning to do a final week run
They
for
were doing a
Claymores
final Claymore thing.
in the sandbox change.
Right. Oh, God, I wish I could get it, man.
I know it's
I
not.
really wish it's not going to happen.
Not
No, I
gonna
don't even
happen.
have time to do it.
Don't even let your brain think about it because
Yeah.
you're just getting really sad. Just let it go.
It's just released.
I had to let go of all my other my characters for legendary gear for Solstice. I didn't get the ship that I wanted to. So
You
then
got to let it go.
I-
It's just so much grindy,
I-
dude.
left too much for the end. I didn't plan out the work properly. But I did finish the bounties. I have 400.
So you were able
score
to
for
get the
that.
T-shirt.
So I got the emblem, got the T-shirt,
And the
easily.
emblem. Nice.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
so
cool. That's cool.
I'll take it.
Right.
I'll take it. And Zavala's ship for getting rank 50 in strikes.
Oh, fuck, I never got that.
Yeah, it's like your original ship ever in D1, but all like
Right, but
fucking
all-
fancy and shit.
Fucking
I'm
Bungie,
proud
man.
of that.
That is good. Rank 50 in Vanguard is a good achievement. I'm proud of you for letting go of PlayStation.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That was a
You
big
know,
move. That was a big
I'm
move.
very because you were trying to juggle for a while, and
I
I
was so
I
invested,
I was
man.
very worried that you weren't going to be.
So
there's
invested.
no way you could keep up.
No.
Even
No.
and now with Forsaken, forget it.
No,
you
definitely
could.
not.
You
never
made the
do
right.
it.
You made the right call coming
I-
with us on PC.
I feel better about it too because I'm playing better than I ever have in my life. Like mouse and keyboard, I was so worried. You guys remember I was worried about transitioning to that
Right.
from like a learning curve perspective, but
Right.
I don't want to sound arrogant or conceited, but I'm fucking tearing people.
Tearing
in
it
this
up.
Game. So
Tearing it up.
so
Good, dude. That's
so
awesome.
Lego.
I'm excited to hop into Crucible with you guys with the changes. So maybe we
Yeah.
can dabble with that a little bit this week at some point.
Very exciting. Yeah.
That would be the only reason why I would hop in this week. Would be to at
Feel
least
it out.
test the new hand.
Navigate
cannons and things
around,
like
get
that.
a little bit used to it.
Yeah.
Know where to
I
go.
would hop
when
on and
the
do some
shit
PvP.
launches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we can line that up this week. Do a little
Yeah.
PvP just to see where it's at.
Heads up as well to listeners out there. Final point that I have, at least about Destiny, too. Everyone on September 1st, which is the Saturday, gets to play Gambit if you would like. It's
You wanna do that? You guys
24
wanna do that?
hours. I'll be
I'm wor-
away,
I'm
actually.
wor-
in the
I'm working.
Poconos.
God,
Yeah.
what?
Fantasy football draft, dude.
I can do it in the morning, like
Okay.
early before I go to work. But then I work, and then
See what them
It's
ball
SOL.
boys are up to. I'll see how
Yeah.
that is. I'll report back.
I'm
next
not, I'm
week.
not
How's
too
that?
worried about it because we're gonna have plenty of time with it. It would be cool to jump in and get our hands on it now
Yeah.
immediately. So I'm down to hop in the morning. I guess I could just matchmake, right? I could
Yeah.
hop in even if no one's down in the morning and matchmake it. But yeah, Gambit on the first for free 24 hours for
For everyone. You don't have to have the game pre-ordered. You don't have to own Forsaken
It's a good little tease.
All I have to do is own Destiny. I don't
Yeah.
think you even need an expansion. You just need Destiny 2.
That's cool.
And you can play Gambit all day.
Yeah, I'll try and play a lot of that and tell you guys about it.
Yeah.
Please do.
Cool.
Please do.
That's all. I mean, that's all I got.
Yeah, I like it. More to come on Destiny.
More to come.
Obviously, more Destiny, guys.
There's gonna be Destiny every week.
Yeah.
Every
You
week.
might want to go ahead and unsubscribe. 'Cause
If you don't want to hear about Destiny, you
'Cause-
need to say something.
Yeah.
Maybe for the future we'll just like talk Destiny at the end, and then we'll like before Destiny we'll just be like, all right, guys, this is the time for the Destiny talk.
You know what?
This is Neo. This is Trip. This is Locke. See you next week.
I was
Destiny
100%
people?
checked out of the Destiny discussion, but I 100% believe it's necessary for our podcast.
That's nice.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate the words
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
Aren't
If you
just going out into the
don't
internet for no reason.
like hearing about Destiny, tell us on our iTunes.
Do exactly
Rate
what
us 5 stars and then tell us what you think.
Smash the fuck out of that follow button.
what I was
and
going to
then
say
unfollow
is
it.
do exactly what I just did. Just don't pay attention during this part.
I appreciate your tolerance, Felix Hergood, for our Destiny
Well, I think
discussions.
it's
we're
not-
about to move it to the next one, right?
At some point, but
we don't all play the same games, right?
No.
we
that's
used to,
why
and
we-
now I'm sad and bitter about
That's
it.
okay, but that's why we try and diversify the podcast and talk about many different types of games.
Right.
I like our diverse tastes on things besides
Yeah.
Destiny.
Yeah.
We come together for
Exactly.
Destiny.
Look, I will never forget being level 24 or 25 when 28 was the max. September 2014. It's me, you, and Anubis, and I'm crouching under a balcony in a nightfall, just trying to get that aura around my head at a low level, and then I did. I got through, just picking at him with my like weak as shit weapons, and we beat it. And I just stood in the tower like, I'm level fucking 25, bitch. You're
That's-
28, and you don't have that aura around your
That's
head.
why the title thing has
Yeah.
me so excited. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a huge PvE. I'm obviously more geared towards PvP. Not that I don't like PvE, but I've never found a lot of, I guess, pride in PvE. Like, I would always point to a rank and be like, I got that rank. Or, oh, we went flawless this week.
Yep.
But to have, like, a title that no one else has or few people
Literally
have.
a word over your head.
Yeah.
Running around. That dude knows all the lore.
Right.
That dude kills kids in PvP. Like you know who the guy
God,
is.
it has me so excited.
It's gonna be dope.
Like, but I also miss, like, to your point, how hard the Nightfalls used to be. I feel like that went away, even with the Prestige. Like, the Prestige was hard, but I remember in a Nightfall taking like
2 hours. It was a
2
2-hour
hours.
investment. Yeah.
I remember hiding underneath the staircase in Valis to Auric,
Yeah.
trying to snipe him.
Or
to
in the
kill
vent.
him.
The vent was another spot.
The
You
vent,
you
yeah.
went. You
The
started
cheating
in the
vent
far.
or the cheating stairs.
You had to start far left, and then when he
cheating
moved, you had to
stairs,
move
the
to
cheating
to
boxes?
far right corner.
Right.
You had to move mid map. And
Cheating
you weren't
hole.
killing the ad, so like,
Cheating
it was
hole.
a fucking
Oh, yeah. Cheating
one
hole.
at a time.
Where have I? The cheating,
Cheating
hole.
hole, yeah.
The cheating hole was on the right. The cheating boxes came later.
Yeah, the
It's
cheating
the-
porch was the Archon priest. That's
Yeah,
the one
and then
that we did.
they got rid of
They
that.
patched the cheating.
They
But
got-
they never. I don't think they ever patched the cheating holes.
In Valis to Auric?
Yeah.
No. That's because we stepped into a...
Something war with the Cabal on Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a meme
Yeah.
for anyone out there
Anyway.
listening.
All right. That's...
Not
that'll
not
be...
reading
Who
Twitter.
came up with the term cheating hole?
You did.
I
I feel like.
probably.
Well, you were saying I don't know if you came up with it, but you were always the one going,
feel
"Yeah,
like-
I'm going to go in the cheating hole
I
or the
feel
cheating
like
porch
you-
or the cheating box."
I feel like a lot of the things that we say in terms
Cheating
of
vent.
Destiny, like words you've made up. I don't know why. I think you've just like...
I spent a lot of time
Well, all
with,
words are made
with
up,
Sage
Locke.
of Halo.
You know what I mean.
Coming up with things like that.
Don't go down this road.
Phallus to orifice.
That's my favorite one, probably.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Valis
Tarok.
Phallus to orifice. That was my favorite.
So
Strike-
next
Oh,
week,
man. Strikes. Good
let's
old
see.
strikes.
Do we want? Oh man, are we gonna do a podcast before Forsaken?
Here's the
It
thing:
would
if
be
we do,
Sunday.
I wouldn't be able to be here
On
because I'll be
Sunday.
away. I'll be away that weekend.
But I feel like we should do a post Forsaken episode. We'll have to
Yeah.
plan that out.
It would,
We'll
it
see.
would have to be the next
have to see.
Sunday.
Yeah,
I mean, Wednesday night. I get a couple hours of sleep and come over Wednesday night if we plan that. If that works for
Potentially,
everybody.
yeah. We'll see. All right, more D2 in the near future with Forsaken launching next week.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, so are we going to hit? Do we want to dive right into the other time sync? Do we want to hit? Is there any other news points that we wanted to hit before we hit Cyberpunk?
Of
I-
all the things I grabbed,
Don't have anything that I.
There
thought
was the NVIDIA new GPUs, but at this point it's old news.
it is old news.
Yeah.
I also got. No.
Oh my God, the McSkillet car was this weekend.
Yeah, that was last. That
What
was
a
the past
fucking
week.
week.
Yeah, a YouTuber
shit,
got in a
dude.
car accident.
I mean, I don't think we
Oh,
go down
yeah,
the
that
road
was fucked
too much
up.
with that.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up
Let's see,
situation.
already
Animusha's
did
getting
the fun
remastered.
news.
That's
Entitled piece of shit
exciting.
who affect other lives, but happy things.
Other than that, I think
Dude,
we
what
just.
oh my
I'm happy
I know,
that
what a
I'm,
whirlwind.
oh my god.
I'm happy that Assassin's Creed is skipping 2019, but
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
need to read
also
a
good.
I didn't need to read a whole article to think that's cool.
No, I put. I see.
Look
I,
at the quality of what came out of
I
it.
when,
fuck
I,
yeah.
when I gather news, I try and think about everybody.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not
Hey.
mad about that.
Hey,
I'm not
No.
mad about that.
you do a good job when you gather the news.
Great fucking
Thanks,
job.
Locke. You know, I
It's
appreciate
almost as
it.
good as that shirt.
This is the Neo
Fuck
Aoshi
yeah, this-
encouragement hour.
This
What?
this
I
shit's
just had
turning
some
eyes.
questions.
You know what I mean?
The section-
Build them up to just shoot them down.
We have to.
I just
because
wanted
we
to
do a lot of
hear.
both.
I wanted to hear your guys' opinion about the fact that the battle royale mode is being developed by a different group. Do you think that's going to be
For
a
Battlefield 5.
five? Do you think that's going to be a bad thing?
No,
or
but-
do you
but-
think
but what that-
they're outsourcing it to a group that knows how to do it
What
better?
that says to me is Battlefield 5 was in full swing in production.
Yes.
And midway through last year, they were like, oh shit, PUBG's really popular and Fortnite's popping up. So we need to do this. And
Yeah.
so they just brought another developer in to do the work on it.
The maps, the assets, the scale, all of that's already been done by DICE, right? Like the game mode, it's being developed, right? Like they're not going to be using a different engine, right? So the important part is that it will be Battlefield 5 that we're playing. It's
Yeah.
not like it's going to be a spin-off in its own thing. Like
It'll be same assets and engines.
exactly. So I'm not concerned about it. I would agree with Neo that this was definitely like a oh shit we
moment.
need this type
We
of
need
and
this
we
mode.
don't have the people. We've
100%.
already spread
me
our
somebody.
resources. I'm
Get me
not.
somebody while I'm waiting.
Yeah, I'm not super concerned about it.
me Spider-Man.
Get me somebody. Get me
It's-
anybody.
It's definitely the game. It's definitely the battle royale that I'm the most excited for. I definitely am more excited over for Battlefield 5's battle royale than I am for COD with the Black Ops battle royale. So we'll see. That's soon, man. That's like not far away
Got a
either. It's
month.
2 months,
Yeah,
right?
October?
For
October
both of them,
something.
right?
It's in October. Yeah. So 2
And
months.
next month, in September, we have the beta for the battle royale for COD.
Oh, damn.
So we'll know how that's going to be pretty early on. So
Mm-hmm.
I doubt they're going to get $60 from me just for a battle royale game. But if it's fucking great,
I'll be backseating all
you
of
just
that
fucking take
Yeah,
my
me
wallet.
too.
and see what happens.
yeah.
Yeah, there's not enough games that I plan on buying this
After
year.
after
So.
Forsaken, the heat is on. Everything's just coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly don't feel like I have a lot of things I'm excited for. Like, not that there's not a lot of exciting things coming out,
The problem
but
is like I want to play Tomb Raider, and I
Yeah.
talked about this, but like because I love the other ones.
Yeah.
Felix, you too, right?
Oh hell yeah! But
But-
it's not even on my list.
And that's the problem is like
Too
we're
much other
we're
shit.
so packed. You're gonna be playing Assassin's Creed, I'm sure.
Oh hell yeah!
that game I want to play. I'm super excited for that just because of the time setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a pre-order for that, and Red Dead 2 I'm going to do a stream for if
Right.
if work gives me off, and then I'm also going to do Fallout 76,
Which
and,
I got into
always
the beta for
forget
that.
about that,
So
man.
I'm gonna be checking
Just
that
keep
out as
forgetting
well.
about it. You're
and I
fine.
got Battlefield 5.
Should I? Yes.
All right. You convinced me.
What are you gonna do that for?
I don't know why. I'd be playing
No.
Destiny, and then I'm going to be playing Kingdom
not-
Hearts, and then I'm going to be
Oh my
playing.
God, I forgot that's coming out this year.
Fuck me.
There's always one that one person forgets about. A
I
different one all
forgot
the
about
time.
Kingdom Hearts.
Anthem is
God
February.
Damn it.
We have a
Division is
complicated
March.
fall.
And dude, it rolls right into the spring.
Why didn't I remember
doesn't
about
stop.
any of
It
these? I
doesn't
literally
stop.
didn't remember about either Anthem
Because
or
year.
Division.
your brain
Smash
is
Brothers
focused on
Mario
Forsaken.
Mario Party. Let's all just take a minute to talk about Mario fucking Party, which will be so exciting.
I'm sorry.
Somebody
you-
buy
I
me a
think you
Switch.
mspoke and said Mario Party instead of Smash Brothers.
I said Smash Brothers first.
Okay.
but
No
then I
one
said, let's
cares
just take
about
a
Smash
minute.
Brothers.
Everyone
Why do you
cares
want a-
about
you want a
Smash
Switch?
Brothers. Are you mad?
Yo, it ripples out throughout the Discord about how much me and you just shit on fucking Smash, and everyone else is losing their mind. And I'm like,
dude.
yeah, I guess so. You're beating up another Nintendo character.
When
That's
Smash
pretty cool.
comes out,
Yeah,
I
that's
told
cool.
What the fuck?
I told the Kind of Funny Discord that I would host a big community game night
So mad
and do
about
Smash
it.
Brothers stuff.
So
Have-
mad about it.
Have fun mashing A 4,000 times.
And I'm gonna do it happily.
I was going to buy it.
Yo,
What are you buying it for?
I don't know.
Oh my god, I can't.
so I
handle
can
you and your
so I can
purchases.
tear that ass.
I feel
up.
like I need to be your
Hello?
fucking financial advisor. You need to pass all decisions through me.
I gotta pre-order that. I gotta pre-order that. In.
No, I was like I said, I did not pre-order the Shadow of the Tomb Raider because I knew it would be too much.
Right.
I mean,
I'm proud
5
of
is
you.
too much.
No,
5
it's-
is too
I
much.
respect your restraint.
That's some solid
it's,
restraint, dude.
It's an exciting fall. I know I won't be playing Division. I know that for
That's
a
in
fact.
March.
I know I won't be playing Division.
I could lose it. I'll be playing for Anthem.
I think that if I'm going to choose another game as a service game to play, it would probably be Anthem over Division. Not that I didn't like Division.
I still need to see more on Anthem personally. Just saying.
I mean,
there is some blind faith for me in BioWare.
Jonathan Warner has been so active on Twitter, like commonly and frequently doing. He's doing just like he calls them ask me almost anything about Anthem. It's like
right.
AMA.
Because there's things that I probably can't talk about.
Do you get to take a shit in it? Can I take a shit somewhere? Can I take a shit somewhere in Anthem?
Find out.
Oh,
Tweet him. Yeah, go ask him.
Speaking of taking a shit, have you heard of this game Scum?
No.
So Scum is.
I thought you were about to say something I loved, but I'm glad you didn't.
Hold on, you might love this.
Oh,
Scum is apparently a better version of DayZ. So it's an early access. It comes out, I think, tomorrow. All the streamers have been playing it. You play as a prisoner, kind of like Running Man style.
Oh wow, cool.
Love that movie.
But it takes place in a map that is slightly smaller than DayZ.
That's a massive map.
So it's like 180 kilometers in size, and I think DayZ was like 220, so it's a little bit smaller.
Okay, that's good.
But you have to manage your metabolism. You have to take a shit. You have to piss. It messes with your stamina if you don't.
Wow.
And it's a straight survival game like DayZ, right? Like you're on a huge map, you find shit, you come across other players, not as often in a battle royale because obviously the map is fucking massive.
Right.
But everyone's playing it right now. Doc was playing it, Chaco, Shroud, they were all, and I was watching them play, and it looks pretty good.
Scum,
SCUM. I would watch it on Twitch because there's a chance that I may get it because I've always wanted the DayZ feel, right? Like, because I started watching DayZ before I ever had a PC, which then led into PUBG, obviously.
Right.
But super slow paced, right? They're running around this map, not finding anyone for a long time. And then they're getting in this like intense ass sniper battle with someone they see laying prone on a hill, but they may have to poop in that very moment, and they have to take a shit.
I have a very important question. Can you enable pinch mechanics? Because
no idea.
Pooping is not a simple meter that hits 100 and it just happens.
I don't know enough about the game.
Your body knows I'm not in a place where I'm comfortable pooping.
But listen to this.
So maybe that gets delayed a little.
What if you have dysentery?
But like,
then
listen,
you're fucked.
I don't know all of the fucking ins and outs.
These are the questions people are going to want to know the answers to.
It's super specific that if you don't measure your metabolism and eat right, your BMI goes up and you become overweight.
Are you serious?
There's overweight characters in the game that
You're
don't.
You're kidding me with this shit.
I swear to God, I've watched it happen.
This is so weird. I gotta have to look at this,
dude.
So like, if you literally have to measure your metabolism. There's a whole video, like an intro video created around it. That if you in this like dystopian world, if you only eat candy bars, you're gonna look like you only eat candy bars over time.
That's amazing.
But then it affects your stamina. So when you're running from another player, it affects your stamina. It affects your energy.
I'm sure it works the other way too. You have to eat, or else you'll be skinny and not have energy. If it works in one direction, it might
PC only,
work
right?
the other way too.
Of course,
that's definitely PC.
First of all, you're fucking.
This is on the Switch.
Yeah. So I would look into it. I definitely don't know enough about the game, but I knew it would kind of be up both of your alleys to potentially play that.
I've pissed in Conker's Bad Fur Day, but that's about it in terms of like going to the bathroom in games. This is a whole other dimension that I can't even comprehend barely.
Speaking of DayZ and stuff. Gamescom was this past weekend.
Yeah,
not a whole lot of news came out on it. I didn't put anything in our doc or anything like that. But DayZ was there, and I was like, "What? What are you doing there, DayZ? Do you have something to show or whatever?" So I reinstalled the game to check it out, and it is still pretty much as broken as the day I left it like 4 years ago.
Did you hear that they officially announced an Xbox release?
Yes,
this month,
and that's why I was like, I need to see what they've done so far because like, is this game playable? And it's still not playable.
No.
Well, there's still a lot of the same problems are still there. Some news, they fixed a lot of it. It looks better visually. It looks better, but like a lot of I'm not going to dive into all the issues that I found, but it is still pretty much like the same issues that were there 4 years ago, still there.
I just
What's crazy is that
no desire for
out of nowhere, there's an Xbox version. When they announced a PlayStation version,
2013,
like 4 years ago.
Yeah, they announced it.
And now out of nowhere, there's an Xbox version and no PlayStation version.
I don't know what this game's doing.
If from afar, that is the most destructive development process I think I've ever seen happen.
Ever seen.
It was at a peak, right? It was like the game of games for a while.
2014 was like my year of DayZ.
Right?
Pretty much. Like that's when I was like deep into it.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
see.
So I just thought it was wild that Xbox is getting a version of it. It's probably going to run like garbage.
Like garbage.
Which, if the PC version can't run it, the Xbox version is going to be so bad.
I turned the first thing I did when I jumped in the game is I turned off the motion blur, which I normally do because I hate it. I really hate it. But turning off the motion blur actively made the game run worse, and and moving frames made it worse because they use that to like kind of hide the flaws of like frame rates and moving a camera. And I had to turn it back on.
Damn, dude.
It was really bad.
Jesus.
But I think we should talk about something really good now.
This is that game.
Are we ready to move? Are we ready to move on?
I'm ready because it's very exciting.
You can send it to me later in Discord.
No, I was just showing him because Shroud's on the metabolism screen, and it has your heart rate and all of that and stuff on it.
Oh,
it's
look
pretty
at
crazy.
that. For Scum, yes.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
No, I
That's
do want to
really
check
my
that
vibe.
out.
I would die.
talk about it.
I would die so quick in that game.
We got a present.
We did get a present.
Oh
Yesterday?
my God.
Yesterday.
It felt like Christmas.
48 minutes.
2077, you know what I'm saying? Anyway.
No one knows what you're saying.
Is there
What
still Christmas then in 2077?
God, I hope
Great
so.
question.
I hope so.
There wasn't there Christmas in that Netflix show about
In,
resleeving yourself, Altered
in
Carbon?
Altered Carbon?
Yeah, there was
remember.
Halloween.
No, there was
It's
Halloween. No, but it was
Altered-
day. There was Day of the
Right,
Dead.
it was like a different version.
It was because it was there's a big problem with it. Never mind, we're getting into nitty gritty.
Yeah,
They were
Anyway,
called, are you
future-
talking about neo-Catholics?
Yeah.
From
It's
that?
fine. Don't start. So we had
Stay tuned for our Altered Carbon
48
podcast.
minutes of gameplay
Solid gameplay, yeah.
from Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, they started a stream that morning, and it was like 6 hours of like code going up the screen, like DOS code or whatever.
Yep.
And then they uploaded, and then boom, they showed us the gameplay.
And there
That's
it
the gameplay that they had at E3. They had at Gamescom. This is what they showed behind closed doors, essentially.
was. And it was confirmed from multiple sources on Twitter that I saw that when it was the same exact thing that they saw, but at those events, people were telling them where to point their cursor to prove that it was in game.
Right.
So they were just trying to reinforce that while it looked like super driven by like
A script.
a script or something, that
Right,
the
yeah,
person
of
that was
course.
controlling it obviously knew what they were doing. That's why they were moving so slow.
Yeah.
That's why they were looking at certain
That's
things.
called the developer walk. When you
Right.
move, just the camera was never gonna pan up so slowly to
No,
look at a
right.
building when you're playing.
Because
It
there
does
was
look
some
more
concerns.
cinematic. It does look more cinematic when you do it like that.
Because there were some concerns during the live stream and following that it wasn't actually gameplay.
Right.
But they did confirm that the game is playable from start to finish at this point.
Yes, they did.
Which is huge.
So that's why in Discord the other day I said, or yesterday I said, well, it's possible we can looking at like a late 2019 release. That's me being like, please, I want this now.
Yeah.
But it's probably more realistically like 2020, late 2020.
I would bet like
Yeah.
holiday 2020.
Because you got to keep in mind they were working on this during the development of Witcher 3.
Yeah.
They announced it in 2014 or I want to say.
I'm not sure when
They
announced.
showed like a quick teaser. It was that woman. I don't know if you remember that teaser they showed.
On the street getting shot
Getting
at.
shot at,
And
yeah.
she had the blade.
Oh,
the
you're
blade
you're
that are
talking
in
about
this
for
most recent
Cyberpunk. I think you're
trailer.
talking about Witcher. Got it.
No. Yeah. It was her getting shot. She had the arm blades coming out.
Yeah.
That was like 2014. I want to say.
What was the development time table for Witcher 3?
About 5 years? I want to say.
Yeah.
And we're looking at because like I'm sure as they were winding down Witcher 3, they were moving staff over to.
Sure.
That's usually how they do it, and most developers they'll reallocate. Like Naughty Dog does it that way.
Right.
They were winding down on Uncharted 2, and they were moving over
Reassign
to,
people
to,
as they
to
went.
Last of Us. Yeah.
They could take their sweet ass time.
Yes,
man.
they absolutely can.
Oh, there's
Oh,
no
for sure.
reason to rush this.
I
I
do
mean,
not want them to fucking release a broke ass
Everything
game.
that we saw in the gameplay demo to me looked fantastic. Even people were complaining the combat looked slow, which to a degree I can say okay, yeah, but I've played Fallout and I've played Deus Ex, and that's how combat kind of feels in those heavy RPG mechanic
Right.
type games.
it's not a first-person shooter.
right.
No,
Right.
it's a first-person RPG.
Right.
It's
very
like your
important.
Bioshocks or your Fallouts
Yeah.
or your
Mass Effect, old Mass Effect,
Which-
slightly. Yeah.
Which I
guess,
get.
Yeah, I didn't play the first one.
Which I get it. Old Mass Effect and Fallout. I hate the shooting in Fallout.
But dude, VATS in Fallout is there to compensate for the shitty gunplay
Yeah.
that you got in Fallout 3.
I was very comfortable in this game's sleeve. You like what I did there?
Sleeve, it's an Altered Carbon reference.
I did get what you did there.
we thought we left it behind and we didn't.
But he
But
found a
here's
way
the- here's the
to
thing,
bring
though.
it back.
Life
You're not
finds a
wrong.
way.
There's influences from so many
Dread? I saw
Dread,
Dread influence in there.
Ghost
Holy
in a Shell.
shit.
Yeah.
Ghost
in the Shell has influenced every dystopian
God.
futurescape
when
ever.
she pulls out her little wrist cable, plugs it into people, and that's like a whole gameplay mechanic.
When she was sitting in the taxi with the guy and he hands her a chip with information on it, and she just puts it into her neck and gets the overlay.
Yeah.
And you can see him still behind her as she sees it. You can see the cigar smoke
My pants are
floating in
getting
the
tighter,
car
guys.
because there's not like a lot of circulation in the car. Like his metal arm had reflections from the street in it as they were driving. I was like, this is unreal.
She walked out of her apartment onto the street, and the density of
the people interacting with each other as they
and
walk.
On top of that, you have the billboards, and you have the neon, and you have all. I know.
You missed a very important part.
Go on.
Walking out of her apartment, getting into a cab, all of this. They made a point to share that this game will not have loading screens.
Yeah.
How
It looked gorgeous.
Who cares?
no,
I
They're magicians.
I can venture an educated guess if you want me to take.
Well, I was going to
2
say
minutes.
Can I say mine?
Say yours.
I think we're in
We
agreement.
probably are.
They're going to look like the load screens are going to be baked into like mini cinematics as you walk out of like a location.
So that's one way too. But also, like the game is supposed to feel like real. So you get into an elevator. The elevator's going to take real life time to go down like
And that's
a
a
floor
load
or
screen.
two. They'll
a hidden load
prepare
screen.
stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Did you guys remember the GIF that came out for Horizon Zero Dawn? This is how the camera worked, is what they were showing. And when your vision turns in Horizon, essentially it erases everything that's not in your view.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as you turn, it redraws it back on
So
to save for
clever.
processing power.
So
Yeah.
clever.
So I'm assuming like techniques like that can be utilized
Sure.
to like.
I mean, God of
Save.
War did it.
It's a mix of
Yeah.
all of that because we're at a point where like people are going to start demanding 4K gaming, and as we get into more powerful hardware, it's going to become 4K 60. And how do you make that look good, but also run these systems
Optimize.
and these AIs and these experiences and make it like believable and viable and not crash to shit?
I brought it up when I was on a show, I think with Just Neo. I don't think you guys were here, but you were just going to bring it up. God of War. They tricked me so I was trying to figure out why every single time you went through one of the world doors to go into the
Why
tree.
it took so long?
I was trying to figure out why I'd be walking around this tree, and I figured it out. Like I'm like live on my stream, and I go, "Wait, this is a load screen.
This is a loading
Holy
room.
shit! I'm in a load screen.
Yeah.
Like I'm
exactly what it
walking
is.
in a load screen. I was like, "Holy fuck, this is clever." I was like, you walk through that world door, and then you're in that tree world, and the tree world is the
Rainbow Bridge.
Is the the fourth wall up.
Yeah.
It was great. I was
Yeah.
like, if they're going to do this in a lot of games where they kind of bake the load screen
It's,
into
smart.
something
It's a good
cool.
way of not taking you out of the immersion
It's way
of the
more
game.
immersive.
Right?
Yeah.
They're drawing a lot of heavy influence from the Cyberpunk board game from I guess the 80s or whatever. It's Cyberpunk 2020, I think is what it was
That's
called.
what started this whole. Like
Yeah.
it's in that world essentially.
Was
It's
it a
part of
board
that
game
lore.
or was it like a
It's like a
tabletop role
like
play?
It's a
D&D
pen and paper,
style.
yeah.
Yeah.
Role play.
D&D thing.
And they want to make sure immersion is their like top priority for this, and that's why they were like in the demo they were saying we chose first person because we believe that's the best way to keep you in the game.
Have they said explicitly there will be no third person character movement?
So far they said that statement is
'Cause saying
is the
first
statement
person-
that they said.
They have not
Not said
they have not said third person is not a viable option. They said that they focused on it being a first person experience.
Some people express concern that you have a lot of customization options for your character and then no real way to view them or
Well,
see
then
them.
there's
or,
like those moments in your apartment where they
You
show
look in the fucking mirror
or
like a
driving,
real
like you
person.
get in and out of your car and you see like third person.
car
and
was-
Or you
stuff.
can or
the
you
car
can,
they switched to third person
yeah
in the demo.
for driving.
Yeah. I don't know if you'll be able to
Although
combat
that
or
HUD in that car in first person,
Yeah.
tighter.
Tighter.
Tight.
When she
Tight.
when she went and got 2 upgrades, they did the hand one and then he was installing the eye one. First of all, that whole like medical tech just like got me so fucking excited for someone's vision of the future. Like how her vision switched over to the eye that was in the machine that then got put into her face, and the whole time you have this robot that's just doing the procedure on her hand that he like anesthetized locally first, and they said, all right, we'll do the more intensive one first and let that finish up, and then she was done and was like, oh yeah, your hand's finished, and the machine just went and she had the reader, and I was like, yo,
That's some badass shit.
doctors and shit, it's gonna be dope in the future.
Doctors and shit. Yeah, I mean it.
Ripping
Listen, I mean,
inhalers, just.
I
get your
think
drugs
this will
on.
be this makes what makes me excited about this game besides everything is
Right.
is I feel like this is going to bring back a single player game that we all talk about our own experiences in.
It's going to change.
Like we used to do, right? Like Felix and I, we talked about, and obviously didn't happen this way, but with like State of Decay, we were super excited because we were going to play one game together instead of 2 separate games in a party chatting about our experiences. Whatever the multiplayer is, if there is even any, I hope to an extent there's not. I think this will be a game that we're all going to play together, but
and
play separately and share our experiences, which is amazing because it's going to be so dynamic. Like seeing somebody walk through the populated street like that makes me think of like GTA scale, right? Like what is going to be possible in this sandbox outside of the story, right? Like what other things am I going to be able to do? While it might not be as open of a sandbox as GTA, what else am I going to be able to do in this world? Am I going to just do what Felix does and play card games and sleep with hookers?
I hope there's that option.
Can I do that, right?
I feel like you're
Thank you for
absolutely.
speculating and nailing the fact that I'm going to be nailing some hookers.
Yeah, of course you are.
It's going to be amazing.
Of course you are.
Please look forward to that.
Yeah.
Hooker stream.
Whatever. What was that name of the? Doesn't matter.
What?
Gwent.
What?
I was gonna no, not Gwen. I was gonna talk
Gwen?
about what is the name of the place in Altered Carbon where all they did was sleep with the sleeves.
I don't remember.
There was like a name of the place.
The little like where he went to meet the girl.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's why I said it didn't matter.
Sleeve
'Cause,
house.
Stop it.
Jesus Christ, sleeve house. Oh my god.
I have.
Did you guys hear about that? The article in Toronto. It just was in
rip
the
your
news
idea.
today. It was in the news today. They opened. I'm not even kidding. I would never go there, but they just opened in North America the first place where you just go and have sex with like blow up dolls.
No, I missed that one.
It showed
Definitely,
up.
I missed that story.
Showed up in my Facebook newsfeed.
future.
That one didn't get delivered to my news feed.
Showed up in my Facebook newsfeed. I'll stop.
You killed
Go
Rob.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you
He
off.
had something he was going to say.
I don't even remember. What
Now
you
that
said.
we're all so much smarter for the fact that Felix shared that news bit with us, I don't even know what I was gonna say, but I think that they need to. They can take as much time as they want.
Oh, of course.
Right.
I would
So
want them
I
to.
think as a whole, the gaming community feels that way, which is great. Like no one's like, dude, like, while we're all excited and we want it to come out as soon as possible, no one's like,
With all of that and all the shit that's coming out, I'm good.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Take your time.
I'm going to be playing for a long time. I'll be okay.
This
Right.
is going to be the Red Dead 2 equivalent of everyone being like, okay, we got to get out of this release date's way once that release
Right.
date drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of developers, a lot of companies did that. And they announced their date, and everyone's like, all right, we're stepping aside because
Right.
Red Dead's going to soak up the oxygen in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I mean, like they nailed the atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
Right. They nailed it absolutely.
It's right, dude. It's right up all the shit that I love in terms of storytelling.
Yeah.
That's a world that I want to inhabit.
I loved that they highlighted like you can, which a lot of games do this, but it seems like there's an extra level of depth to this. Is like you have to find different ways to do missions, so they find the non-confrontational way to do the mission,
Yep.
right? Which is
Well-
talk to your contact first. It then shows the scene of like what happens when you talk to your contact, which then will go in. So like there's
And
ways to play the game that you
he-
might not follow if you just follow the director.
Right. And
right?
he was reiterating that you weren't just like stuck down a path.
Right.
He was saying, "Look, he's got a gun in your face. You could just shoot him.
You could draw your
just
gun.
Keep shooting him."
Yeah.
He's like, "They're gonna fucking destroy you, but like, you could just try it.
Yeah,
Try it. You
those-
can take,
and right
take,
at the end,
take
he
a
was
certain
like-
path to a certain point and see what happens."
At the end, he was like something like, "Now, do you see what happened there?" He was like something like
Like, what if we didn't call her? at
What?
first or
What?
something?
Yeah. What if we did this instead and we didn't like actually get into that firefight?
Right.
And then when you first walked into the building, he was basically like, "Yeah, I'm glad. Isn't it glad? Aren't you glad that we took this, made this choice? Because look at the amount of firepower
Yeah,
that's in this building."
because like what if you haven't watched this yet out there and you're listening to this, one of the scenarios was there was tech you wanted and you had an easy way to get it because you were helping a third party against this group and you were given a card, essentially a credit card with 50,000 in credits in it. That's probably more than you've ever collected at that point in the game, and it's
Right.
probably truly tempting to hang on to it and try to find a different way to get in there and get that thing, or
Absolutely.
you could just pocket the money.
Double dipping, baby.
Yeah. So like you're gonna have real options and real choices, and it's gonna affect more than just the immediate story, which is what's gonna bring in the differences and the opinions
So-
and the storytelling after the fact.
God.
So normally in
Is that
a
exciting? Is that excitement?
Yeah.
normally
This
in
table
a,
does not need its own legs anymore.
It makes me
No,
want
it
to. It makes me want.
We
It
got
makes
this.
me.
We're
And
good.
honestly,
We're all
it,
good in different areas.
It
here.
makes me want to go back and experience Witcher again.
yeah.
You know, like not that obviously Witcher is this, but like
it's very close.
It's just a different
the
different
depth
time
of that
and,
world
you know what I mean? Like
is very
it
realistic
makes me
and believable
detailed.
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
it makes me like want to dive into that. I know I don't have any time for it, but
Right.
it makes me want to do it. You know,
I still haven't played Blood or Wine, so
I haven't played
I
any of
haven't
the
either.
expansions. I have them,
Yeah.
but I haven't played them. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, like, in the scene when you go to the Ripper Dock,
Yeah.
you go in and you meet the Ripper Doc. He does your upgrades. Normally, how that would be in like classic RPGs is you go up to the guy's standing there, then a menu opens
and then he
up.
shows you a menu.
Maybe it's an AI, like an AR type menu, or maybe it's just an extra menu you go into, and then you pick the item, and the next thing the fucking item's on your arm, and then you walk away. I'm thinking back to like Borderlands and things
Sure.
like that. I don't know.
Any normal RPG.
But in this one, do you guys think that in your head that we're okay? So they've said that all of this is going to be in world, and you're not going to have cutscenes and go into menus and all that shit. If you go into that situation and have to do that every single time, do you think that's going to get tedious for you?
honestly,
There's going to be a menu.
the,
There's going to be a menu.
I kind of like that because I
You
like.
think the first time you're going to go in and then it's not going to be a menu after
I
that?
hope it's kind of cutscene-y like that every time because I like the idea that getting upgrades like that is like a serious deal enough for it to warrant a cutscene. Maybe
think-
make it skippable, but like I like that kind of immersion that they're going for.
I'm with you. I think that there probably will be some type of cutscene. There needs to be a menu system for you to choose what upgrades you want to do. The reason why we saw those upgrades is because they wanted you to see what the experience was like to do an upgrade.
There was a menu though. He
Was
took
there?
out an eye, he put it in the machine, and then she was flipping through.
She-
Oh, that's right.
the
She
different
was.
life
She flipped
choices.
through a
She
menu.
was.
So
Yeah,
it's going to be an AR based menu.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, but I like
there
the-
was. You're right. I forgot about
I
it.
like the idea that once you pick from the menu, it goes into the process of her grafting the hand and pulling the eye out. Like I like that whole.
I
that
love
whole
when people's
sequence,
eyes get pulled, huh?
Yeah.
It did
The
it for me.
whole
You know what I
thing
mean? It
Love
just
that
did
whole
it for
thing.
me.
It felt like Blade Runner, man. It was
It felt
great.
Yeah.
Dude, I got Blade
Absolutely.
Runner vibes the whole
Absolutely.
time.
Yeah.
Man. Made me so excited.
And I really loved Blade Runner 2049.
I have not watched it.
I
yet.
did too.
Oh, you should fucking watch that. It
I
was
know. I just
great.
haven't had time. I haven't had the 3
Yeah, no,
hours
it's
to
all
sit
right.
down. And
I
watch
mean,
it.
honestly, like this is like what I wanted Deus Ex to be, and like
Right.
Deus Ex almost gets there. Like the two new ones,
Yeah.
new ones, they almost get there, and with their immersion and their cyberpunkness and all that. But like this one it just feels dirty. It feels like
It feels real.
it feels like real. You know, it doesn't feel like I'm walking in like a simulation of like a city. I can't.
You know what?
describe
It's-
how
No, I know exactly what you.
it's
I mean,
like-
it just the realism of the world they've created. It's the same way why Witcher's super successful.
Yeah.
The world that they've created matters, and it's great.
and
it's well designed.
the cutting edge of this kind of immersion.
Yeah.
And like other world technology. Like I think
yeah.
Skyrim drew me in the most out of any game that was like this type. you
sure.
know? Just
Yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of people living their lives and you being able to participate in that or do your own thing.
Right.
lost months of my life to oblivion.
Yeah.
Oblivion was great.
This is just the next step
Remember that?
of
Yeah.
that.
Like if you think about it, like when I was riding my horse in Witcher 3, I didn't feel like I was in a simulation of a world. Like I felt like they created that world in a very meaningful way. And I could
Right.
go to a town and spend time in that town and just talk to people and just do things like gamble or sleep around or
get your
whatever.
haircut.
And it not like get your haircut. And at
Whatever.
a time, maybe the 5th time that I do it, okay, now it's feeling like a simulation because
Nope.
there's only so much variation that you can have to a certain extent. Right? But like the first time you're experiencing these things, they feel genuine.
Yeah.
And that's super important for the game to be successful. And that's why it was Game of the Year. Witcher 3, that is, and that's why this will be Game of the Year.
Yeah, and
No doubt
after
about
this
it.
Easily.
success,
Whatever year it comes out, I'm sorry for whatever games follow, but it's just not going to win.
I should point out that at the end of this demo, they had a secret message that was like in the last frame.
I saw it in
Of
the
course.
Reddit.
Of course
oh,
you
I
did.
didn't see that.
Oh no, yeah, of course.
One of the flickers. Like
It was a flicker. It was
flicker.
a
Yeah.
flame flicker out, and it's a long thing. I'll just say, hey, sorry. It just says pretty much, sorry to keep you waiting. What we're doing is huge, and we're really excited to show this to you. And like you can tell how like freaking happy they are about what they're making.
Can I borrow that?
Yeah, you want to check it out?
Just,
Yeah.
I'm gonna scan it real
someone
quick while you're-
someone found it and posted it on Reddit, and everyone started freaking out. And the guy's like, I just found this.
Yeah.
Like I don't want any credit. Like I just happened to see it and stopped the video.
I tweeted the message from him with credit to that message.
Yeah.
So I made sure to credit him. But I just like they did this before too when they announced at the Xbox conference this past year the intro loading screen. I don't know if you remember it. It was like text like before, but it was Witcher 3 codes.
Yeah.
They were scrolling up like Xbox versions of the Witcher 3 code.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had another similar message after that trailer, like kind of like this. Oh no, it was after Witcher 3 came out. They did that. They did something like this. Like they did like a thank you for waiting for our game, and like we're glad to do this for you.
If there's any developer that I would love to support, it's CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, you said a phrase earlier. You said what? Blind support, or what did you say about some game was coming out and you said I have.
Oh, like blind faith.
Blind faith.
Like BioWare. I blindly will follow BioWare because I just trust
I have
BioWare.
Blind faith.
I mean, I know I have with this most recent Andromeda.
Should I bring out? Yeah, okay.
Bring
up Andromeda.
Sure, but like I think every developer has made a shitty game, regardless of the developer.
Yeah, true.
I have
right?
blind faith in Rockstar, and I would say CD Projekt Red because of my experience with Witcher 3 and then all the Rockstar games.
Regardless of this trailer, I wouldn't need to see game reviews to buy this game.
Right.
No.
Right? And like that's the point. Like
Right.
we're at a point now within gaming that you don't, unless you're a huge fan or can't wait the extra day or two, you don't buy it right away. You wait to see if you're wasting your fucking
What's
money.
that day one patch look like? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
we got an 80 gig day
one.
one patch because if we do, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this game will be a day one game. I don't care.
Yeah,
Right?
I
I
don't
have
care
the
either.
faith in them.
Yep.
For everything that they've done leading up to now.
That little blurb that I just read over from Neo's phone, it reiterates that the game is not ready.
Yeah.
That it looks really polished, looks really good, but they're still playtesting mechanics. They even reiterated it in the voiceover when they were like, "Look, we're going to show you something. This may be how it looks. It may not even be in the game, but she's going to take him down and hack into his neck or something, right?" And they showed that, but they were very like cautious about sending the vibe that this is what you're going to be playing 100%. And they even solicited feedback because they know, and really smart. I mean, smart of them. They know that people love to share their opinions and maybe not. They get mad if developers don't really acknowledge them. So they're being right up front and saying, "Look, the game probably has a lot of development time left. Get in now. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like, and let's build this incredible world together." Which I think is really smart of them.
Yeah. I'm pumped, man.
Another complaint I saw online was your main character, V, her partner, Jackie. A lot of people were complaining about his voice lines. Did you see this?
In terms of what?
No.
Like that either he was like talking over other people when she was in conversations, or he was like talking over the world, or he was just talking too excessively at certain points.
I haven't
You didn't see that?
seen anything.
I saw that floating around Twitter a little bit,
I
but
saw it and had no complaints about his character. I mean, I think he had a weird accent.
he's just Spanish guy.
Oh, was
I
he
didn't have
Spanish?
any
No, I didn't have any problems either.
like fucking build a bridge
I know.
and fucking
There's-
go complain about something else. Like there's
There's
like,
a lot of
why?
weird, expectation. Like, I mean, there's a lot of expectations at a CD, but
I think
feel like they're getting to a point where it's like, okay, guys, we can't do everything.
Like stop looking
Yeah.
for something
It's
to
a
find.
it's a fine line to walk as a developer. It has to be to listen to everyone yelling about your game and try to like suss out the true
Feedback?
honest, like quality feedback versus someone who's being a piece of shit and being like, "I didn't like how you said that word.
Yeah.
Take it out." You know, which
Yeah.
happens. That's the majority of just
No, I'm
the-
with you.
I definitely
Fucking
recognize
screaming at
the
developers.
V voice actress. I don't know what game she's done working.
I've definitely
but-
heard her in like cartoons or something. I'm
Yeah.
sure I could match it with someone later. I'll have to
Mm.
listen back. But you're right. I recognize her voice too. She's definitely a voice actress that's probably been around.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing that I wanted to mention about this really quickly is that they talked about that this game has been optimized from the ground up. Because I know there was a lot of issue with Witcher 3 when it first came out with optimization, both on PC and on console.
Oh, I don't remember having
Oh,
problems.
on
with
console it was atrocious when it first came
Too
out.
much
it. Oh,
wind.
really?
Yeah,
Too much. Oh, yeah. I remember.
Turn the wind down.
You were
Like-
inside the buildings and like the hairs going
like
crazy.
I mean, the consoles just couldn't keep up with the game.
Nah, it was
I played it on PC. so, you know.
solid 24 frames.
So I think that they've talked about not wanting to leave anyone behind in the experience. So it's important to them that it's optimized from the beginning, which is cool because, you know, I think they've recognized that they want it to be successful for everyone. They don't just want the PC community to have a great experience and the console players to have a secondhand experience. They
Yeah.
want it to be the
Yeah.
same. Sure, the PC experience is going to be better. It always will be.
Hell
I
yeah.
can't wait to play it on my 3080.
Right? 3080
3080
in 4K.
RTX squared.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a 4K monitor in 2 years, but
No, no, mine has about 5 on it until I'm ready to upgrade.
Oh, you
again.
got 5Ks.
No,
got 5
no,
years
I'm
on
saying
his.
5 years
Kidding.
on mine. I got that Asus one.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
my buddy just bought one from Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
They shipped him 2
Whoa.
for the price of 1.
He must have been just a really good person, and the universe was like, you know what, you deserve this.
Son of a bitch.
Damn, dude, that's amazing.
He's now got a dual monitor setup.
1440p, high refresh rate.
Fucker.
Yeah.
I mean, that one monitor is going to do
G-Synced.
nothing but besides window displays, but it's still nice.
Sick. That's so
If he
sick.
gets one more, he can do like the 3-screen gaming setup.
That's too much.
No, it's not.
It's too much for one man to handle. Or
No one
woman.
man should have all
Yeah.
that power.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited about Cyberpunk. I'm
Thoroughly
glad
excited.
they decided to show that. I didn't think we'd ever get that. I thought we would get the next year's version of whatever demo they want to show. I didn't think we were going to see this at all.
Yeah. I think it's good.
I thought they were going to go quiet again.
Yep.
Yeah.
As they could have, and we all would have been okay with it.
Again, yeah.
But now
totally
I get to
fine
watch
with it.
this over and over again.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have. A
I
lot
already
of
watched
content.
it twice.
It's a long
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
demo. It's amazing, dude. It's so much time. Felix, you had your finger up.
I never played Cyberpunk 2077. Never played.
No
that.
one has.
No one has yet. Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the role playing game.
2020.
2020
Yeah.
then.
What?
Cyberpunk 2020.
Oh, is what it was called.
Yeah.
It is what it is called.
Yeah, it's not what it was because it's still a
You
thing.
can still play.
and
You
it's
can,
Cyberpunk
you can buy
2020.
the player's handbook.
The current game coming out is 2077.
Yeah,
but
which
the
no one
original-
has played.
The original thing was called 2020. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Didn't know that. Didn't know that.
Didn't know what.
That it was called 2020. Versus
Got it. That's clear
2077.
now. Yeah.
Got it. But I did play
yes.
a game. I did play a game called Torg.
Did you hear in Toronto that there's
Yeah, there totally is. And you know what it's called? It's called Aura Dolls. I just wanted to let you know.
Did you guys know McDonald's has
breakfast the whole
day?
Aura Dolls.
The whole day you could just get a
in
McMuffin.
Dude,
Toronto.
guess what I just found out? On my way home the other night when I stopped at McDonald's, it's 24 hours, this one.
The whole one.
That's cool.
Isn't it dope? You don't even have to go to Toronto
Anyway,
to get it.
They might run out of Big Macs at like 2
Anyway.
in the morning.
So I didn't play Cyberpunk, but I did play a cyber-themed type game called Torg.
Torg.
Now, at
sound
the
familiar.
time, Torg was trying to market to themselves as not D&D. And Torg stands for the other role-playing game. And so the interesting thing that they did, they had these things called cosms. And cosms were sections of the real globe, the real world map,
Yeah.
okay, that got turned into something thematic, like a world. So, for instance, the United States was like this, it turned into like an ancient prehistoric like jungle full of dinosaurs. And like it was like something dropped in the United States and just turned it into that.
Okay.
Almost like terraforming. And how Paris, France was terraformed, it was called the cyber papacy. And it was like this future tech, like you would get these kind of like adjustments to your body, but it was all like focused around like neo-Catholicism. So that's one reason why Alter Carbon is huge for me, because I used to play Torg, and I played primarily in the cyber papacy and had a character with all these adjustments, these augmentations to her body. So it's really cool for me. When I watched this, I was like, taking me right back to my experience like building a character in Torg.
I'm sure
cool.
Cyberpunk, the original one, is very much like that.
I think they were probably competing, unless Cyberpunk came after Torg.
Wasn't
Torg,
like
Torg would have been like
Shadowrun
mid-90s.
also something like that too? Wasn't that like a tabletop game that turned into like an RPG tech? Like
I
I'm
don't
not
know what
sure.
Shadowrun is.
Shadowrun was a popular first-person shooter or third-person shooter.
it was a shooter, yeah. But there's a game called Shadowrun Returns, and then Shadowrun, which was like it's a top-down RPG in the same vein as Baldur's Gate. It's like Baldur's Gate, so it's like very much like you have a party. It's in like a dystopian world.
But it takes place in the future? Shadowrun?
Yeah, future. There's like elves. Elves are like there's like cyber elves. It's like
Oh.
Cyber elves.
I'm not making this up. I
don't
swear it's a
believe- I don't
huge
think
thing.
Well, that's like a cross of like two genres. That's a cross of high fantasy and technology.
That's exactly
But
what it is.
when I'm saying Torg, the imagery from Torg reminds me. This game reminds me of the imagery from Torg.
You have to look up Cyberpunk
Oh,
2020.
that's it.
Yeah.
Shadowrun is a tabletop sci-fi fantasy game.
There we
So
go.
yeah, oh look, there you go. There you go. There's the cyber elves right there.
Cyber
Yeah.
elves.
Yeah.
Cyber Elf.
And it's a
I
game
mean,
you can play. It's
we
like
have- We have a long time before 77 comes out.
Could
At
play
some point when I
2020.
have some downtime, I might pick up the guide for this and read through it.
We should play 2020.
That would be a great idea,
oh
actually.
my god, we can live stream it
Yeah,
too.
100%.
What?
yeah, I'm fine. I'm
Wow.
good.
I know you are. I thought I was going to see
That
a
could
better.
be really fun.
You want me to be the dungeon master, the equivalent of a
He
DM?
didn't say any of that. He was
No,
just looking
I-
for a
no.
reaction on his idea.
No, I didn't. But it
Come
sounds
on,
like
man.
you want to be
I
the
know-
dungeon master.
I know you're
Oh,
asking
you
me.
want me to be dungeon master?
Just ask me.
Or you want
Just-
me to be in charge of this experience?
Just ask me.
Look,
Just
look,
go ahead and say
I know
it.
you guys want me to do this.
What I
and,
was
you
going to
know,
say, I was
humbly
looking at
accept.
I was
Oh, yeah,
looking
here
at
you
you for confirmation around your excitement because you always want to put a tabletop thing together.
I do.
And then we do this, and then you look at me and like, oh, I'm down.
I'm totally down.
Yeah. All right. Whatever.
Snacks the cat is playing D&D right now too. So
Is he?
He would be in on this, I'm sure.
Oh my
Wow.
God, that sounds like a lot of fun.
All right.
We'll look into this.
Stay
We'll-
tuned for
we'll
the
find
future.
out.
Stay tuned for the future of Cyberpunk 2077. As we know more, you shall know more.
Give it to me now.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, don't give it to me now.
give it to me.
Oh,
in
no,
2
Give it to me
years.
when it's ready.
Give me two. It's right.
Yeah.
You
it to me when
bake
it's
that. You keep cooking.
Can I-
keep cooking.
I forgot about something.
Low and
Can I-
slow, baby. Low
Can I
and slow.
nerd out for 2 seconds with Neo about something?
You have 2 seconds, and then that's going.
I know
to
what
be
you
the
want
end
to
of
talk
the
about.
episode.
Go ahead.
Neo, I played Dead Cells.
Oh my God, I watched you play Dead Cells.
It was fun.
It was.
Did you
it's
like
cool,
Dead
right?
Cells?
Well, first I took it to my parents' house. I had a quick vacation at my parents'
Here's
house.
the backstory.
took a weekend. But I took my Switch down there, and I had bought Dead Cells before I left on the trip. And the whole time I was there,
What time was it when you bought Dead Cells?
I don't even fucking know.
In my 20s.
Oh, it was late at night. Obviously, it was late at night. It was late at night. It was not in my 20s.
Make all the best decisions then.
Back in '95.
Back in '95.
Drinking a lot.
And
I was.
when I talked about it the other week, you liked it, right? Like, did it sound like
You
something
got
you were?
me into buying this game.
Give me your game review, please.
And now
on
I am
this game.
into roguelike games. The style of a roguelike game
Right.
is really neat.
But you see how it combines like Metrovania aspects.
Yeah.
And it does like the roguelike thing where like you die and you start over again.
I like that. I've never played a game. If it didn't have that, I wouldn't play this game.
You know what you
Like,
should do?
What?
You should review it
Yeah?
and copy someone's review word for word. And cycle that around.
I hear that's the cool
I'm going to
thing.
make a YouTube video that's exactly
Yeah.
like someone else's.
You probably do
That'd
that.
be amazing.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, I was really surprised at how refreshing it is.
And it's good to play in like
Well,
bursts,
I think it's
and
a,
it's like,
I
yeah,
think it's a good switch up for you. Like it's very different than what you normally play.
Yeah, I did it on stream and it was interesting. I don't think I had anyone come into my stream because the stream was titled that or anything. But I think if I put more effort into it,
Nice.
then people might start joining it. But it's a great game, man. It's a lot of fun.
I know
and-
Channing plays it a lot, right?
Yeah, and I'm pretty addicted to the concept of like banking the cells and then
Can I get
unlocking
further?
new
Yeah.
blueprints and like doing all that. I
when-
haven't fought a boss yet.
when you
though.
unlock those blueprints of like different weapons and stuff, they get thrown into the pool
Right.
of weapons you find
Yes,
or start with.
You don't unlock the weapon in your inventory.
No.
It's just something that can randomly generate now in
So-
the randomly generating seeded stage.
Right, and like every run through will be like significantly different because of what you find, because they change the various layouts of the levels or the
Yeah, like
sections.
one
Yeah.
time the game randomly the promenade, which
Yep.
is this next level.
Yep.
The promenade showed up like right after the minute I walked into the world, into the stage.
What
Like,
I'll normally do if I find the entrance early, I'll just keep going
Yeah.
to places I haven't finished
go
yet.
through the whole
find
thing,
the
kill
upgrades.
all the enemies.
Yeah, kill the upgrades.
Because killing
find
the enemies give you the cells, so
and
that's-
money. You get
yeah,
money
and
for
money
them.
and everything.
And you'll find like other weapons. Like maybe you'll get lucky and find a weapon you want. You know.
yeah. Now I haven't fought a boss. Did you fight a boss?
Yes. After the promenade is a place called the Rampart.
Yeah,
And
I
at the
got to
end
the
of-
rampart, but I haven't fought the boss there.
At the end of the Rampart, you'll find the boss, the first boss.
Okay, cool.
And eventually you'll unlock. Did you find those things you can tickle? The little tickle
Yeah.
piles?
Hello?
I
I'm
unlocked
not
the
kidding.
Tickling, yeah.
It's like a little
Don't
pile.
say shit like that to him.
It's
No, I did find
it's a
the
little
things.
pile of
I
goo on the
tickled them and
ground.
it
You
did
walk
nothing.
over it and it says press R to tickle.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
And when you tickle it, a vine comes out of it.
Press
Well,
the button
yeah.
to end this podcast. Where's that button?
All right, let's end it.
It was a good nerd out, though, at the end there, man.
I know. Yeah. Dead Cells is great, man. It's my lunchtime game. It's
I'm
like I'll
excited.
play it on my lunch break.
Cool.
It's great.
Oh, and I did want to announce that my record was finally beat for The Flame and the Flood
I saw you tweet about this.
on distance. It was beat by Kill the King, our friend Kill the King. I'll tell you guys.
Beat
who
you
he-
by a day, right?
Yeah, he beat me by one day.
I did see
I
your
want
tweet.
you guys to come
all
on
that
and try
matters.
it. I want to see if you
I'm
guys
down,
can beat
dude.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
down. I watched you play that
The way this
first
works
time, months
is
ago.
you come over, I put you on survivalist gameplay mode. I tell you nothing about the game, and then you try to figure out how to survive for
Okay.
I appreciate
more
that.
days than us.
Okay.
Wait, what?
So
Kill the King had
There's a
no,
game.
He
You
had
just
no
feel it,
he had
dude.
he had no pre-idea about this game.
Didn't try it on easy first to get
Nope.
movement down or anything.
Didn't do
That's
anything.
fine. I don't want to know anymore.
But I want you to come over. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you
But-
can lure me.
Yeah, this,
With candy.
there's a game mode called Survivalist that's really hard.
Like a Job.
And
reference.
the way the game works, Locke, is you start at the beginning of a river. You start at the beginning of a river. You get on a raft, and then you just have to survive.
Figure it out. That's fine.
And it measures you on days
How much you
survived
figured it out.
or distance. Kevin Oates holds the record for distance at 7.4 miles, and
running.
Kill the King holds the distance for days survived.
I'm excited to try it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Excited
sounds
for
good.
those men as well and their accomplishments.
Well,
Really quickly, just to cliff notes, Bungie has tweeted out that the
Breaking news.
that the Forsaken gear that's dropping is in fact a bug.
oh, so that is not supposed to be live.
Either get it now, or
either
they're going
get
to
it
take it out
now.
of your inventory. Maybe I don't know what
Yeah,
they're going to do.
who knows? It
could-
just
they could
says
pull
What if you got
they
a
could pull it
real?
down.
What if you got a real sick roll and a gun, and they're just like, you shouldn't have.
no.
that now.
There's no way they're gonna take. They're
No?
gonna get rid of it. No,
I got to play tonight.
no. What?
Gotta play tonight.
I need a full armor set.
Yeah, so it says we are aware of an issue where players are receiving Forsaken items earlier than intended. This was posted as of 27 minutes ago, so it is in fact a bug that people are getting the drops.
Well, you know what to
They
do.
might not patch it. It's a week away.
Well,
What's the
we should
point?
just end this podcast so we can go scour the internet. I love it. I just really good guess.
We're looking at gift
all right,
replies
so,
on Twitter.
Thank you for joining us on the
yeah.
Emergent Gamer podcast. This is Neo Ayoshi saying good day.
Yeah, thanks for watching and listening. Trip Zero.
Lock and key.
And Felix Hergood.
Thank you again to OG Podcast. Super stoked on that partnership. Again, you could find us on ogpodcastnetwork.com in the OG Podcast Network app, should you want to download it, or just keep listening where you are listening or where you are watching the video feed. You will see us again next week.
Stay tuned to our official pages as well,
Yeah.
because
Like
we usually
theemergentgamer.com.
exactly.
Yeah.
What's our Twitter, Neo?
Emergent_gamer?
Yeah, follow us there, because while we usually do these on Sundays because of all the events happening, we might do next week's around this time as well, depending on everyone's schedules and games coming out. So that might be a thing that we do that is different than normal. So just, stay on top of it.
But normally it's Sunday.
Normally Sunday.
Sorry, I just need to say this.
Say it.
Go ahead.
Someone replied to the tweet and said, the motherfucker that reported this to Bungie is the same kid in class that used to remind the teacher she forgot to give you homework.
Oh,
That son of a
fucking
bitch.
Kid.
That's a good one.
Everyone knows. Whoever they were in their class, you know exactly who that was.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Later.
All right, peace.
See you guys.
Remember Sinbad playing Shazam?
Yeah, I do.
No. We played Kazan.
Whatever. Same shit.
Shazam was Shaquille O'Neal.
This is the
I know.
this is it.
Shazam
This
has
is
no
the
one
debate.
has
I know.
ever played
I know.
Shazam.
No. He was Kazam.
That's what
That's
I
what
just
I meant.
Yeah.
Kazam.
Yeah.
So who was it? Was it Shaquille O'Neal or was it Sinbad?
Shaquille O'Neal was Kazam.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you say? Shaquille O'Neal?
Kazam.
Okay, fuck the name. Kazam, Shazam, blah blam.
What was
it
the question?
Shaq or was it Sinbad?
Shaq.
It was Shaq.
Okay, so there is a portion of the internet
No.
Oh, that thinks Sinbad.
yes,
played.
it
Yeah.
was him.
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
convinced that it's Sinbad and remembers Sinbad playing this character.
Yeah.
No, it's.